Hello students, welcome to unit number 3 in design analysis of algorithms. So in this lecture we are going to cover a concept which is named as probabilistic analysis. So this is going to be your second chapter under unit number 3. So this is your unit 3 syllabus. So in this unit 3 syllabus, in the current class we are going to cover a concept which is named as hiring problem as well as indicator random variables to indicate the events which are available in a sample S. Okay, so you are going to have two types of events, right? If the event is occurring, ultimately that will be indicated by 1. So if the event is not going to be occurs, that can be indicated by 0. So likewise with this concept you are going to be indicating an event which are available in a sample S. Okay, so the main contents we are going to be covering in this lecture are going to be the procedure of the hiring problem, followed by we will see an example, followed by algorithm. So the main outcome of this lecture is you are going to be understand the procedure of probabilistic analysis. So based on this probabilistic analysis, you are going to be find out the probability for event which are available in a sample S. So the main outcome is you are going to be analyzing the complexities of the hiring problem. So first of all, you try to focus on what this hiring problem is going to be. So later we will see about how to measure the time complexity for this problem. Yes. So let's have a procedure of the hiring problem. So in the hiring problem, your task is to hire a new office assistant. So you try to focus on how the recruitment procedure is going to be. So every company is going to be release a notification based on the positions. So based on the required positions, the company will release the notification. So based on that notification, company will receive applications. So for that applicants, the company will going to be conduct an online exam or the offline exam. So based on the result, they are going to be have a shortlisted list of candidates. So for that list of shortlisted candidates only, they are going to be conduct an interview. So based on the performance of a candidate in the interview, they are going to be hire a candidate. Otherwise, they are going to be neglect that candidate if the candidate is not having sufficient qualifications. Okay. So now try to assume that your previous attempts at hiring are unsuccessful. Okay, so your task is to hire a new office assistant, but your previous attempts were unsuccessful. So that's why you are going to be decide to use a employment agency. What is meant by employment agency? So it is a mediator company or an agency will take care about how to conduct the drive for the office assistant. So the main theme of an agency, employment agency is going to be they will take care how to prepare a question paper, how to conduct a drive and how to conduct an exam. So based on that result, only you are going to be conduct an interview. This employment agency will going to be give the shortlisted candidates. For that shortlisted candidates only you are going to be conduct an interview. So now your primary task is to conduct an interview for each and every candidate per day. Per day your task is to conduct interview for only one candidate. Here your previous attempts were unsuccessful. So that's why you are going to be decide to take the help from employment agency. That employment agency will take care to conduct the drive. Now this employment agency will directly give a shortlisted candidates of list. So based on that list only your task is to conduct the interview for that shortlisted candidates only. So now your only task is to conduct an interview, that's it. Okay, and to decide whether to hire the person or not. Okay, so based on the performance of each and every applicant after interviewing, so if the applicant is better qualified than current employee, current office assistant, so ultimately you are going to be fire that current office assistant and you are recruiting that new applicant. So now let's observe the algorithm. So if we observe the algorithm of this hiring problem, how many parameters it is taking as an input? Only one parameter. So the algorithm name is hire assistant. You are going to be hiring a new office assistant. So for that you are going to be have n number of shortlisted candidates. So how to know the n number of shortlisted candidates? That can be given by your employment agency. So that employment agency will going to be give the shortlisted candidates. For that shortlisted candidates only your task is to conduct the interview. Okay. So now, so initially my best is 0. So initially I didn't conduct any interview. for the shortlisted candidate. Okay. So likewise, I need to verify the performance of each and every shortlisted candidates given by employment agency. So ultimately, I am going to be do an interview process for each and every candidate I. So the I represents the current candidate interviewing which I am interviewing. Okay. So now, so if that candidate I is going to be better than the best, okay, so ultimately my best is going to be I. So likewise, I am going to be verifying among n number of shortlisted candidates who is the best. So likewise, I am going to be hire particular candidate I only. So I am going to be interviewing n number of candidates. So but I am going to be hiring only one particular I candidate. So that is the main theme behind this hiring problem algorithm. So now we try to focus on what is the time complexity of this algorithm. So if you are interviewing a candidate with a best cost, nothing but a best cost or going to be average cost. So that is going to be order of or big O of C of I plus C of H. So what is meant by C suffix I as well as C suffix H? So C suffix I, which denotes the cost to conduct a interview for the candidate I. And what is meant by C suffix H? The cost to hire a particular candidate. Okay, so your task is to do interview and to conduct an interview followed by to hire a particular candidate. So the together the total cost to have an interview process as well as to hire a particular candidate is going to be together big O of C suffix I plus C suffix H. So nothing but the cost to perform or to have an interview process for a particular candidate I as well as the cost to hire a person, that is going to be denoted by C suffix H. Now we try to observe what is the time complexity for the worst case. So in the time complexity under worst case, there is a scenario that you are going to have a situation which is going to be occurs if all the candidates are comes in a increasing order. For example, you made a condition in your job application notification like every candidate must have a degree to apply this post. But you are receiving the applications from BTech candidates, MTech candidates or from PhD candidates. So likewise, so based on the you are receiving the applications or you are receiving the applications from the candidates more than the quality or over quality. So that defines my increasing order of quality. So ultimately you are going to be have a situation like to hire all the candidates, but you are going to be have a post which is equal to 1. So available post is 1, but ultimately you are getting overqualified candidates. So in that situation, you are going to be have a time complexity under worst case, that is going to be big O of n into C suffix H. So n defines all the candidates are going to be have a increased order of quality. So that's why here you are going to be have a situation like you need to hire all the candidates, all the n number of candidates. So this n defines all the shortlisted candidates, right? And the cost to hire a candidate is going to be C suffix H. So that is the main theme behind the time complexity of this hiring problem under best case as well as worst case. Okay. So in the best case, so based on the interview performance of each and every candidate, you are hiring that particular candidate only, and you need to consider the cost to conduct the interview. So that's why together it is big O of C suffix I plus C suffix H. But coming to the worst case, so there is a situation that you have received all the applicants within an increasing order of quality. So that's why this is going to be comes under a worst case. Why? Because you are going to be have a dilemma that how to which candidate I need to hire. Okay. You are going to have a discussion on indicator random variables. Every event is going to be indicated by two values, 1 as well as 0. If any event occurs, then ultimately that event is denoted by 1. If any event doesn't occur, ultimately that event is going to be indicated by 0. So based on this indicator random values, you are going to be have a capability to find out the probability. Now let us understand how to have a indicator random variables procedure to have a probability analysis. So that indicator random variables is going to be provides a method for conversing between the probabilities as well as expectations. So expectations are nothing but results. Okay. So here you are going to be have a probability. So based on you are going to be get a probability based on that expectations only. So those expectations which are available in a sample S. So with the help of event A, you are going to be get the probability value. Every indicator random variable is going to be indicated by I of A. So I is nothing but indicator random method, variable method you are applying for the event A. So that's why notation of I of A. So you are applying a random indicator variable method for an event A. Okay. So that event can be going to be have a two values. So if that event A occurs, that is going to be denoted by 1. So if that event A doesn't occur, ultimately it will be denoted by 0. So with the help of these indicator random variables, I can have a capability to find out the probability. So now let us discuss an example how to find out the probability values based on these indicator random variables for the particular sample S. So this example is very known to you, right? For example, I am going to have a single coin. So every coin is going to have how many faces? Two faces, right? Head as well as tail. So if I flip a coin, so ultimately my task is to find out an event which is going to be head occurrences. So for that, you are going to have a sample set which is going to have two faces, right? Head as well as tail. So what is the probability to have a head? Nothing but 1 by 2. Why? Because among two faces of head and tail, you are going to have only one chance to have a head, right? So that is going to be 1 by 2, and for the probability of tail is also going to be 1 by 2. Okay. So based on this example, you try to find out the indicator random variable for an head event. Now let us focus, have a discussion for the random indicator variable for the event which is going to be head. Okay. So after flipping a coin, so if you receive a head, ultimately that is going to be indicated by 1, otherwise that is going to be indicated by 0. Okay. So if you are getting 0 means ultimately you got a coin face is going to be tail. So based on these values, I can find out whether I can have a flipped coin that is going to be head or tail. Now you try to apply this procedure to your hiring problem to have a time complexity for that algorithm. Now let us have a discussion on analysis of hiring problem with the help of this indicator random variables. Okay. So as I said previously, so now you try to focus on for this hiring problem. So the event is going to be indicated by x suffix I for the random indicator variable. So what this event x suffix I is telling, to hire a candidate I. So x defines an event to hire a candidate I. Nothing but x2 defines to hire a candidate 2. So likewise x3 defines to hire a candidate 3. Third candidate you are hiring based on the order of shortlisted or based on the order you have interviewed the candidates. Okay. So now we try to apply this procedure to your hiring problem to get the time complexity of this one. So here my event xi is going to be have a two values to hire a candidate I, that is going to be 1 either or 0. So when you are going to be get a event 1, so if you hire a candidate, so if you are not hiring that candidate, that ultimately that event is going to be denoted by 0. So likewise you are going to be have a procedure to interview a number of candidates, but to hire only single candidate, right? So now we try to focus on the time complexity based on the event procedure of this random indicator variables, that is going to be, so initially you are going to be have 1 to n number of candidates shortlist are there, right? So and my task is to find out the time complexity for the event xi. Okay, try to, this E denotes event. Okay, so based on this event only I can have a capability to find out the probability. Okay. Now, so try to separate this sigma value to the left side, so that sigma I equal to 1 to n, which is going to be event of xi. So I am finding out the time complexity for the event to hire a candidate I. Okay. Now, so likewise you are going to have n number of candidates, shortlisted candidates, and you are hiring only one candidate, right? So among I number of 1 to n number of candidates, I am going to be hiring only one candidate. So you are going to be doing interview for each and every candidate I, right? So the ultimately my probability is going to be becomes 1 by I. So if you are getting 1 by I, ultimately the time complexity is going to becomes log n. So with a log n time, you are going to be hire a candidate for this hiring problem with the help of this event xi. So this is the way you are going to be indicating for all the events which are available in a sample set S, that can be denoted by 1 if it occurs, or that can be denoted by 0 if it doesn't occurs. So based on this random indicator variable only, you are indicating the events whether those are going to be happening or not. So if they are happening, ultimately you are going to have a capability to find out the probability for that one. So if the events are not happening, for them also you are going to have a capability to find out the probability for at how much probability value the event is not going to be occurring. So based on this random indicator variables only, you are indicating all the events which are available in a sample set S. Okay. So as of now we have seen the procedure of the hiring problem as well as the random indicator variables. So followed by we have seen the time complexity analysis also, as well as algorithm for hiring problem. Okay. So that's the end of the class. Thank you.